Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be working out here in the front and we're actually going to be working in my neighbor's garden. I wanted to give you guys an update on how her raised beds are looking. If you recall, we came in a while back and we added a ton of compost and biotone starter fertilizer and we really charged up her beds. And then I came in and I planted a bunch of flowers on two of her beds and she came in and planted a bunch of her veggies, and I will say her veggies have never looked this good. So I know it's because of the compost and the biotone starter fertilizer. We really charged up those beds and things are thriving. However, the flowers, not so much. Some of them are looking great. Some of them are looking not so great. And I will tell you why. And I think I know what happened. So I want to show you what I think what happened and then what I did to help remedy it. And I will say I was a little bit embarrassed because it's like, how could this happen to me? I'm a flower girl. Why are not my flowers thriving like they should be? So I'm going to show you how everything is looking right now. And then I have a surprise for her. I actually got her a Hoselink hose reel. So here's what happened. I was outside and we were installing our hose reel and she saw, and she didn't really come over or anything that day. And then the next day she saw me and my mom watering. So she came over and she's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's the new Hoselink hose reel that we got. And so she got excited. She tried it out and she looked at me and she was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I know. And so I reached out to Hoselink and I was like, hey, can you help me out? I would really love to gift one to my neighbor. So thank you so much, Hoselink, for sending this out. I cannot wait to install it in her side garden. And I have a feeling she's going to want two more for the other sides of her garden. So I'm sure after she sees this one and uses it, she's going to order other ones for the other parts of her garden. And she is a neighbor that I love to share everything with. So anytime I get something new, I share it with her and she shares it with me. And so I love my hose reel so much that I wanted to get her one. So I want to go ahead and install the hose reel first. She's not home right now, so it's a complete surprise. She has no idea I'm installing this today. So let's go ahead and get that done first, and then we will talk about my epic fail with the flowers. So here is what their setup looks like right now. You can see they have a 4x4 post. They mainly use this hose to water their raised veggie garden over here on the side and then their grapes. So it's not super long. So I went ahead and ordered the 50-foot long one. And remember, they come in 50 feet, 82 feet, and 100 feet, which we have the 100 feet ones. And the problem that she has with this setup is she constantly trips on the hose, which again, safety hazard. And then this hose, it's kind of heavy, but it's one of those fabric ones. And she has tried every hose under the rainbow like I have, and she just hasn't found one that she absolutely loves. This one was fun in the beginning because we both got these at the same time and it worked well for like a month. And then we were both like, I'm over it. So let me show you the problem with this hose. She'll bring it out and it kind of just kinks up and it's kind of stiff. So she's constantly having to like go back and forth and just like do this dance with her hose all the time, right? So then she is out here watering all the way out here. And then instead of just being able to tug on it to reel it back in, she will come out and she'll walk it through. And it's functional. It is functional. But is it the best? No, it's not. And then she'll do this and she'll come out and she doesn't have, you know, much range with this one. And then when she comes to put it back, she will come put it back. And here's where like she gets frustrated and I get frustrated every time I have to water for her. So she will just lay this down and then she's trying to wind this up like this. And it like kinks and it doesn't go on. Anyways, and then she just gets really annoyed with it, so she just leaves it. So is it functional? Yes. Is it easy and enjoyable? Absolutely not. So that's why we are going to upgrade her today with a new hose reel. All right, so I am going to go ahead and just unscrew the old hose and I'll give her the honors of her doing whatever she wants with it. I don't know if she's going to get rid of it or donate it. So I'm just going to unscrew everything. And the way she has it set up here is she has hoses and a water source running to the fig. So that's why those other two are here. So I'm going to leave those put. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just remove this because she will not need that anymore. And we will take these guys out. Lefty loosey. All right. that one out. All right, now for the fun part. Let's unbox. I feel bad that I'm the one opening this because that's like such a fun part of this whole thing. But I think she is going to be so excited when she sees this installed for her. It's just going to make watering so much more fun. Because like, there's a box knife that people use. I know, but I never know where ours is. It's like having a tape measure. There's like 50 of them in our house, but never when you need one.
We have plenty of box knives. We don't have the blades for that.
That's what we need. Yeah. Okay, put that on the list. So this one is a little bit smaller than ours because we have the 100-foot. And I got her the dark one because she has a dark blue house. So I figured this is going to look much better against her house versus the light ones that we got, because we have a light colored house. And if I was going to install these in my garden, like outside in my landscape, I would probably go with the dark one because it blends in really well with the landscape. So if you have areas that you want to put it out in your garden, like far away from the house, I would suggest a dark one. So, isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. Are you excited? I feel like you're more excited.
I want a new
We
one.
just installed ours like a month ago.
I want another.
He wants another and another and another. So you get the reel, the bracket. It comes with all of the instructions, but I'm going to show you how to install it so you can just watch this video. And then it also comes with an attachment. She might want to keep the longer one. Hoselink also sells the longer ones as well. So this is the one that came with it. And then some extra washers, which I will give it to her. What I love about Hoselink is their quick connect system. I'm able to switch out the nozzles so easily without having to turn off the water source because you're able to stop the water flow right here. So you don't have to go turn off your main water line, come back, disconnect your nozzle, put in the new one, go back, turn on the water, come back, and then use it. It's just like a one-stop shop. So this is about where I think it should go. Now remember, the bracket is going to sit kind of in the middle of the hose reel. So the higher you go, the higher the actual hose reel is going to sit. So just kind of predetermine that ahead of time before you start drilling it in. And it already comes with our screws in the bracket right here. So we're really all good to go. So I went ahead and just pre-marked each of the holes right there. I didn't go in all of the way, but just with the drill, I just went in a little bit so I can see where my holes are going to go. So before you actually start drilling, you want to make sure that you pre-measure how long those screws are and you mark it off with blue tape. That way you don't go too deep. So make sure you don't skip this step. There we go. So this is probably a little bit of overkill, but because this post, as I drilled in, we noticed that this is a pretty old post. I'm going to go ahead and use these little anchors that came with the hose reel. So I'm just going to take my screw and my washer, and I'm just going to put that in and just gently start screwing it with my hand just to set it in place right there. And we'll do that with the rest of them. So now I've attached my 3/8 socket into my drill. We're just going to line that up and gently go in. So I like to go gently first, and then I can come in and tighten everything. And so that's what it should look like. All right, so now you just literally drop it into place like that. The great thing about installing it on a post like this 4x4 is it gives you 180-degree swivel. So it gives you a lot of flexibility depending where you want to go with your hose. So now I'm going to wrap the 6-foot leader hose around the post, just how they have their other hoses, so it's a little bit out of the way. And then we will connect it to the water source. All right, now that we have it wrapped around the post, here's where the fun comes in. You can just disconnect it, the quick connect, and then you can use this part to screw into the water source. That way you're not twisting your hose back and forth while you're trying to attach it. So again, this is the ease of Hoselink's quick connect system. So now we just connect it and twist it. Look at how easy that is. How cool is that? All right, now we're going to connect the nozzle. So you just align everything up just like this, and then you twist, and that's it. Now here's the cool part. Say you have a favorite nozzle that you like to use. You can go ahead and take this connect and then attach it to whatever nozzle you already have that you love. However, like I mentioned, if you want something just to kind of match everything the way that I like to, Hoselink also sells these longer nozzles as well. So because I want her to have the full experience, I am going to leave this pretty new one on here. And it comes with so many different settings on the actual nozzle. So you have shower, flat, mist, vertical, center, full, jet, cone, and back to shower. All right, here comes the fun part. Let's give it a go. Look at how easy that is. So to lock it in, you just give it a little tug and you wait for that click. And then to reel it, you pull it again and you walk it back. Now what I want to do is pull it out all of the way so we can see all of the places she can reach. Oh yeah, that's nice. This is definitely a lot further than she had before. Now again, if you have a smaller garden, then 50 feet will do. However, if you want to bump it up in case you do want to reach newer areas in your future garden, I would definitely recommend the 82-foot one or the 100-foot one, which again is the ones that we have and we love it. So from here, she can water part of my garden. So it's a win-win. I wouldn't recommend letting go of the actual hose just because it could damage some of the internal parts. So I just gently let it reel itself back in. Just like this. Easy peasy. And once she is done, she can leave it out like this, or she can just tuck it to the side and store it away until next time. While I'm here, I am going to go ahead and just water this bed in a little bit more because we had to reseed it. I'm so happy that we got to do that. I cannot wait for her to come home, enjoy her new reel, and enjoy watering the way that we have been ever since we got ours installed. All right, let's talk about what's going on with the cut flowers. First of all, can we just admire all of her beautiful veggies? Her tomatoes look amazing. Her lettuce back there, her peppers. She's got cucumbers, and it just looks so great and yummy. I mean, look at how well everything is doing in these beds that we amended. Now, while the veggies look amazing, the flowers are, they're getting there. They're getting there. So we planted these two beds here full of flowers. It's sort of like a flower experiment that I wanted to conduct in her garden and see really how many flowers can we get out of these two beds in terms of production. So we started with some amaranth. These were the ones that I started from seed. We have cosmos, 2 rows of cosmos here. I did give these a little bit more room where everything else I planted more tightly, which was kind of part of the experiment. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of different zinnias. And then we have 1 row of celosia right here. We have scabiosa right over here. And then being taken over here by the borage is some Cracker Jack marigolds that we planted. Now I will come in and cut some of these leaves back of the borage. I planted the borage and the nasturtium because I also wanted them to have edible flowers. And then right here, I have 1 more row of scabiosa. So I have to come in and cut this nasturtium back. Can you even believe how huge and massive this has gotten? I mean, look, let me just step back. Just look at it. Isn't that incredible? So here's what I think happened. We direct sow a lot of these flowers, and I always have really great success direct sowing things like cosmos and zinnias. But what I think happened, 2 things. 1, we didn't keep these beds wet enough. And when you're directing seeds, you have to keep the soil moist. It cannot dry out. So in order for things to germinate well, you have to constantly keep everything nice and watered. So I think that was mistake number 1. And then number 2, I think slugs got to these because before I left to England, I came over and I checked on the flowers and they all had sprouted. But when I got back, all I saw were like these little sticks, which tells me the slugs came in and ate all of the leaves off of the flowers. So what we did is we spread Sluggo. We are going to have to spread it again. And then I direct sow some more seeds. We live in the Pacific Northwest and we have an issue with slugs here. It's just one of those really annoying pests in our garden. And I can tell this is part of the damage of the slugs and maybe earwigs as well. So I have to come out at night and check the beds to see if I see any activity out here then. But what we've done is we spread Sluggo around the edge of all of the beds. And I'm going to come in since all of these new babies have sprouted and we are going to spread some Sluggo around them as well, just to keep the slugs at bay. Now you can see I went pretty heavy with sowing. Instead of doing like a couple of seeds, I did like 4 seeds per area, which I will come in and start to thin things out now that things have started to grow. And I've also put in a little bit of netting, which I will also remove just because the squirrels tend to come in here and they hide their nuts, but in doing so, they remove all of our seeds everywhere. So not the best results yet, but I have faith that my girls are going to come through and everyone is going to start growing again. Because I really want things to take off even more so, I am going to go ahead and leave her with a bottle of Bloom from Espoma, and I'm going to have her start feeding her flowers every week. Now the instruction says to repeat every 2 to 4 weeks, but I'm going to go ahead and have her do it once a week for the next 4 weeks, just to really amp these up even more. So even though there are some fails in here, there are some successes. I think the celosia are going to start taking off here real quick. The scabiosa are looking good. Some of the lower leaves are yellowing. Those are some of the old leaves, and I'm not worried about that at all. Those will just be trimmed off and they'll be perfectly fine. The borage is just a little beast. It's just really going for it. We'll go ahead and prune some of this back. And then of course the nasturtium is just beautiful. I mean, these plants are just such workhorses. If you have any areas in your garden that you just need to tuck something in and you want something edible, so it serves 2 purposes, ornamental and edible, highly recommend the nasturtiums. And look at these beautiful, I'm just gonna pull this one off. Look at these beautiful little flowers you can add to like your summer salad. I mean, how beautiful would that be in a presentation? I am very determined for this experiment to work. So I am going to keep a very close eye on these beds and make sure nothing comes after them again. And if it does, I'm hoping it doesn't, but if anything goes after these flowers again, I do have some extra starts that we haven't given away yet. So worst case scenario, I will just pop those in, but I really wanted to see how vigorous these zinnias are going to be when we direct sow them versus growing them indoors. So it's kind of like a twofold experiment. So anyways, I'm a little bit upset and I was a little bit butthurt that the slugs did that while I was gone, but it's okay because I came in, I probably seeded this bed less than a week ago, maybe a week ago. And so we already have really good germination. It's going to warm up again. We had a couple of days of a lot of rain. So now that things are going back to normal, I'm hoping that these are going to take off. Now, typically I would come in and pinch all of the zinnias, but I'm going to go ahead and let them grow a little bit more, especially because these slugs got to these lower leaves. And then when we harvest the first flower, I will treat that as our first pinch. So after we do that, things will really start filling in and taking up more space. Anyways, I will make sure to keep you guys updated on how these beds are doing in the next few weeks. I am so determined to make this work. I cannot wait to see these beds full of beautiful flowers that she can cut from. And I'm also just excited to see how productive these beds are going to be. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my neighbor's garden, getting that new Hoselink reel installed for them, checking on the garden. I'm very optimistic of how things are going to be in the next few weeks, and I'm very excited about it. So anyways, thank you guys again for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Are you ready for your gift? Are you so excited?
Yeah.
Okay, isn't that cool?
Wow.
It goes 180. Yeah, and if you had it in the garden, it can go 360. Yeah, because you can use like a pole. Oh. So like if you had it like in your backyard somewhere, you could just do it. And then this whole thing lifts off. I'll show you guys in a sec. Okay. But I want you to try it. So like, I'll show you how to use it. Hold on. So you pull it out. There we go. And then it locks in. So now it's locked in. And when you're done, you just walk it back. Isn't that cool?
That is beautiful. Wow.
Isn't that great? And look, you can just like put it away if you want and all of that.